Welcome back to today's episode of our book review, and good to have you back on this awesome channel where we are very particular about self-development and every other thing that makes us better people. So we are still on the book You Can Be President or Anything Else by Bob Moore. Trust me, it has been a jolly ride. Everybody, including myself, has enjoyed this, series, and it hasn't ended yet, luckily. So today we shall be continuing from chapter 13. I don't like to say how many chapters we would cover most times because even I am not aware. So let's see where this gets us today. So we shall be commencing with chapter 13 today, like I said. It is titled Lucy's Impossible Dream. It tells a story about a very renowned person. Her name is Lucy Ball. As a young girl, this lady had a dream to become a well-known actress, bragged about it, and people laughed as usual. And that did not discourage her. She went ahead to, fight to become what she wanted to be. With so much hurdles, at some point in her life, she fell ill. She went for several auditions and was kicked out. And not just kicked out, she was embarrassed in the process. Took, jobs while still believing that, this is what I want to do and this I must do. Now, at the age of 40 was when she got her first acting role. 40 years old. That was when she got her first acting role. Says she was 40 years old when she got her first noteworthy acting role. This book review that we do here also helps me because sincerely, I cannot, it's not easy to practice what you preach, but I feel guilty when I don't do the things that I come on here to say, to a greater percentage of it, of course, because I am not perfect. I feel guilty when I don't do it because it is going to stand against me when people begin to demand of me the results for my life. My parents would demand, my children would demand. I should be able to give account of what I am spending my time, on. So this lady didn't give up. She spent her time chasing her dreams and she got to her destination. The author asked if Lucy Ball was born great, if she was born talented, was she given breaks? All of this answers no. She was just a regular person like you and like myself who had a dream and was going to see it through. Lucy Ball first became president of her life. Then she became the successful person millions cheered. Now remember we said she got her first big role at 40. Hear this. See, let me tell you how successful she became. In 1953, 29 million people watched on television as Dwight D. Eisenhower was inaugurated president of the United States. In 1953, 33 million people watched as Queen Elizabeth II was crowned Queen of England. In 1953, over 40 million people watched a woman who was a failure for years. A woman who worked 18 years without getting a good acting job. 18 years. God help me. God help me. Because wow, this is tenacity. This is determination. This right here is focus. So on to chapter 14. It is titled Your Presidential Cabinet. Now this chapter advises us to build a presidential cabinet that is filled with forces that can encourage and help us to become the president of our lives. I'll read. It says, just as the president of the nation has a cabinet of friends who advise him, you have a cabinet of friends who can advise you. These friends are enthusiasm, action, the golden rule, patience, a positive mental attitude, goals, and self-confidence. You need to have this in your member of cabinet. That is how you make right decisions. That is how you, step by step every day, climb the ladder to fulfilling your dreams. You cannot have negative things in your cabinet and expect to be successful. Even when you fail, you are not allowed to have negativity in your cabinet. Failure is okay, but you cannot stay there. You have to try again and again. So surround yourself with positive forces that will help you overcome failure and not negative ones. Chapter 15 to 21 elaborately talks about this, factors we've just mentioned, from enthusiasm down to self-confidence. So let's jump to chapter 15. It is titled Enthusiastic Dolly. Enthusiasm, what does it mean? Enthusiasm, according to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, is defined as a strong excitement or feeling. So if you have a strong excitement or feeling towards your job, towards your marriage, towards any given thing or task, it means you are enthusiastic about that thing. So you have excitement, you have, a jolly feeling about it. Yes. So we know this popular lady, Dolly Parton. Yes, the celebrity, very celebrated singer lady. This chapter is about her. So this lady grew up in a very poor neighborhood, but she loved music. Started singing right early, I think at the age of 5. And then I made a fake guitar out of, broken instruments and stuff. And then sometimes still in her, childhood days, her uncle bought her an actual guitar. So she was big on her dreams and telling people how great she was going to be. And as usual, because these people have never seen someone this big, they laughed at her. But she was not about to be, discouraged. You get. So simply because someone around your circle hasn't seen or heard about the things you desire to become, it doesn't mean that you cannot become it. So that was the first thing that our lady Dolly really, trashed. You haven't seen it, but I want to be it. I could be the first, or I will be the first of such that you would see. And did she make it? Yes. Her first album, sold. Said, as you know, Dolly Parton had kept on singing all her life. She became the first woman ever to have 1 million copies of an album bought by her fans. Yes, 1 million copies of an album. Her enthusiasm has never stopped. The author defined enthusiasm for us. So let me read it for you. Say, when you have a goal, a purpose that you believe in, when you are working to make that goal come true, then you have energy, excitement, and anticipation inside of you. Then you have enthusiasm. You feel happy and self-confident. That is what the author said enthusiasm is. It's the same with what we defined. I have always screamed and said it here. Having enthusiasm about your dream doesn't make your journey any easy. Let me read these for you. It says, no, the enthusiasm you need as a member of your cabinet, of the cabinet of your presidency, is more a way of thinking and approaching things. It is a way of thinking that says to you, life is good. There are ways to succeed. So you are countering what you are seeing with what you believe. You get. Say, when you have enthusiasm, you don't look at the bad side of things as they happen. You look at the good. You find something good in each person, in each happening. Real enthusiasm means that you believe that what you are doing has a purpose. You have a strong conviction that you can accomplish your purpose. and you have a burning desire to stick to your goal until you have reached it. That is what enthusiasm does to you. So when you are enthusiastic about everything or every task or every dream or every goal, discouragements don't really do well around us, because people just get tired of discouraging you. They just see that this one, nah, this is a made-up mind right here. You better give off that made-up mind vibe. Yes, it's better. So you can tell away naysayers politely, of course. So it goes ahead to say that enthusiasm means that you look at what needs to be done and find ways. That's a plural. Ways, not the way to do it. Ways to do it. Rather than finding excuses for not doing it. Are we following? No excuses anymore. What has to be done or what needs to be done has to be done. So I learned something also from this chapter. It says the enthusiastic person knows that things doesn't always go right. He or she just finds a way to give his or herself a pep talk. Be your own pep talker. Pep talk yourself out of depression, out of worry, out of the feeling of sadness, of failure. Yes, give yourself a pep talk today. So my take home from this chapter is that you cannot stop a person who knows where they are going, and you can defeat a person who cannot be defeated. Yes. So chapter 16 deals with our number 2 member of cabinet, which is action. Action. Act on. Act now. Yes, that's how I choose to put it. Act on. Act now. So, a few things I scribbled. It says you won't know if you can except you try. Action must happen before results. The amount of action equals the amount of result. So we see that action is a proof that you are serious. By the way, there's an adage that says action speaks louder than words. Don't tell people you are successful. Show them. Story about a writer named Alex Haley. I hope I pronounced that name right. This guy, was in the army. Was it the army? Yeah. US Coast Guard. That was where he worked. But he loved writing, and he could write, back in those days. And, while they were working, he fell in love and was writing letters to his girlfriend. His colleagues who were around him, the illiterate ones, who also had lovers who could not write, needed to write letters to their beloved. So he was the one doing the writing. That was where he developed the love for writing. He decided, okay, this is something that I think I want to do. And then he started chasing this dream. Tried and tried and tried and tried and tried. No break. Started writing a book. He thought the book would take 2 to 3 years to write, but this book eventually took 12 years and left him almost broke. 9 years after beginning the book, the author said this man was in debt of over $100,000 US. And he said that was quite a pricey dream. Yes, very expensive. Said depression set in and he almost gave into it. Alone one night on a ship, he wanted to commit suicide. But at the moment, he discovered a strong feeling of belief in his book and believed that it would be of value to others. He moved away from the rail of the ship. So he didn't commit suicide. After 12 years of putting into action his belief, he published this book. And guess how much he made? 1.6 million copies in hardback sold, another 3.7 million in paperback in America alone. Copies, not the amount of money he made. Now, said when the book was dramatized on television, it broke all records, attracting a viewing audience of more than 130 whooping million people. It became the highest rated television show in history. It won 9 Emmy Awards and literature's coveted Pulitzer Prize. His personal fortune has already passed the $5 million mark. Action. What do you believe? I always say, I believe that doing these book reviews is something I love to do. And that's why I always do it. There are times when I don't want to come here to do it because I'm bothered about stuff and all of that. But I feel like, oh, there's somebody out there who is, even if it's 1 or 2 persons, who's waiting to hear from me. So I always come back here to, do these big book reviews and ensure that I finish what I start. So try as much as you can to look inward on those dreams, all the dreams that you have abandoned, the dreams that you have not started to act on yet, and start to act on them. What would you explain to yourself at 90 years old? What would you explain to your feeble self when you were 100 or 80 that you couldn't dare to act on your dreams? What would you even lose if you tried to act on it? You wouldn't lose anything. I mean, already you are a loser for not trying. So why not try and see if you would lose or not? You don't even know what the future is if you try. But you already know what the future is if you don't try. So this guy, Alex Haley, said something. He said the only way to succeed is by hard work and faith. No magic button can guarantee you instant success. You simply must believe. You must have faith. And when the going gets rough, you just have to hang in there. If you are an I'll do it later person, the only way to become a do it now person is actually by beginning now to do it now. So don't postpone tomorrow. Something you can do now. Something you can do now. Do not postpone to tomorrow. So somebody called Charles Finley said sweat plus sacrifice equals success. Sweat plus sacrifice equals success. I hope that you have learned very much from today's episode. I don't want to say a thing or two because no, I said a lot of things. I hope you grabbed as much as you could. I know you would think that most of the things that we say here, we constantly repeat ourselves. But trust me, we cannot overemphasize. We cannot say too much of the fact that you need to start today. So please start today to do these things and be proud of yourself. It's for yourself. It's not for me. It's for you'll be proud of your own self by yourself. You may not even ever get to meet me in your entire life. But trust me, you would be glad that you did not give up on yourself, give up on your dreams, because nobody's going to listen to your explanation. You need to show us results for your work. Explanations will not save you from your bills. Explanations will not save you from your kids. Explanation would not give you a place in the society. Stop explaining, stop complaining, and start attaining. I like rhymes. So, thanks for joining us today. I hope to see you next time. I would like to stop here today, please. We've done 4 chapters, 13 to 16. Let's take it slowly, people. In the next video, we'll do chapter 17 and onwards. I hope to finish this book very soon. Thanks for stopping by. I love you.